Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be comparing the Galaxy's Edge Kenobi Series Lightsaber from Disney Parks and the new Force FX Elite Kenobi Series from Hasbro that you can find at retail stores. What's the price difference? Which one's louder? And which one looks better with a blade? I'm going to answer all those questions, so don't go anywhere. Hello there. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is Finding a Force, where I cover all things Star Wars, but especially lightsabers. Thank you for clicking on my video. I'll be your host, Obi-Dad Kenobi. Hello there. Okay, so let's say that you're an Obi-Wan Kenobi fan, you want his lightsaber, and you have a couple $100s to spend. These are the two best options for you guys, are the new Black Series Elite Kenobi Series lightsaber that Hasbro just released. I think people are still getting their pre-orders right now. And the new Galaxy's Edge Obi-Wan Kenobi Series lightsaber, which is one of the newest additions to the Legacy Lightsaber collection. This is actually my box set I got from the D23 convention. The actual Kenobi series, if you use our smuggler, Kevin, Batu77, check him out on Instagram. If you contact him, he can smuggle you out this lightsaber, but it's gonna be in a box set similar to this. We'll get to that in a minute though, but this is the box that I got from D23, which has Kenobi's lightsaber from episode 1, the Kenobi series, and episode 4. But since you guys were asking for it, I thought I would deliver and do this compare. I don't think I've compared a lightsaber in a long time, so kind of fun. Looking forward to checking out the difference in price, comparing the design, the volume, the sounds. By the way, guys, if you wanted to throw a little tip my way or buy me something to drink, feel free to leave a super thanks down below. I'd appreciate that. And as always, if you hit that like button, it really helps out my channel, as well as watching to the end of the video. I'd really appreciate the support. Thank you very much. And without further ado, let's get this started. Okay, so let's start off with the price of how much these lightsabers cost. So the price of the Kenobi Series Force FX Elite is retailing right now for $280, but it wouldn't surprise me that for the holiday season here in 2022, might be dropping to like $260, $250 if you keep your eyes open. You know, stores like Amazon. I'll put a link down below when that's available. And the box set that's similar to this of the Kenobi series at Disney Parks is running about $220, I believe, give or take. But if you hire a smuggler, they take a small commission and shipping fees. So they're actually almost the exact same price. They're very comparable prices, which is exciting. That usually doesn't happen with my Force FX and Galaxy's Edge review videos. And also, the Kenobi series comes with a stand and a blade, as well as the Kenobi series box set. Little difference though. The stand with the Kenobi series is metal. Personally, I think I prefer that better than the stand that comes with the Galaxy's Edge saber, which is all plastic. Maybe isn't as flashy in my opinion, but they make up for it because the Kenobi series box set comes with a belt clip. So just some food for thought, guys. The only sabers I really wear on my hip have been like at conventions or at the Disney parks, have a CoverTech wheel just like these sabers do. The D-rings really tend to swing around, and the grinding of metal, with the belt clip and the D-ring, there's a lot of metal grinding around. Wearing it on your hip, like in the movies, sounds like a good idea, and it's fun for about like half an hour until you just want to throw it in your backpack or a fanny pack. Nothing wrong with that. So luckily, for the sake of the comparison, both the box sets have very similar items included. And the price is almost the same. So let's keep going. Finally, getting to the good part, let's look at the design of both of these sabers. All right, we've got the Kenobi Series Galaxy's Edge here on the left and the Black Series Elite on the right. And there are a lot of differences. So let's just talk proportions first, and then I'll talk about like the weathering and the finish to the sabers. Let's compare the two designs and take a closer look. All right, this is the Galaxy's Edge on the left and the Black Series Elite on the right. Now, gosh, there's so many differences between these two sabers. The Black Series Elite is just a pinch taller, and the emitter cup looks also a hair smaller and more proportionate. Focusing ring, also I've called the neck, on the Galaxy's Edge looks thinner for the display upper half compared to the Black Series Elite. I mean, there's a difference in colors. Copper on the Legacy saber has a bit more of a shine to it. I think overall the upper and lower neck and even the emitter cup have more of a glossy look. Moving our way down, it's really subtle difference, but I think that the Legacy saber upper grip here, or the grenade section as it's called, it looks had just a tiny bit wider on the Legacy than the Black Series Elite. The clamp or the controls here in the center have a lot of similarities, same chip, just very slight differences, like the control switch is a bit shinier here on the Legacy, has more of a matte finish on the Black Series. Both have all the key features of Obi-Wan's saber. Now I guess now that we're working our way down, they both have the cover tech. It's in the proper place, which I like. And the pommels, there we go. Both have tons of writing on them. Serial numbers, Lucasfilm, the whole deal, which you get with retail sabers. Isn't this crazy, guys? These are so similar, but two completely different flavors of saber. Please comment down below which one you guys are liking so far. Gosh, I mean, the Legacy Saber emitter cup looks bigger, but has a thinner neck. The colors are just different shades. It's crazy. One thing I really like on the Black Series Elite is this natural weathering that looks like it's been scuffed by hands. On this saber here on the right, and just a really nice natural finish compared to the Legacy, which looks very clean and machined. But when you turn the saber here on its side, I tend to think the weathering looks more natural on the Legacy and a little bit more mechanical, especially here on the upper neck right there. Kind of looks more painted on, where it looks so airbrushed and blended better on the Legacy saber. Now the upper grip grenade section of the Galaxy's Edge saber has more weathering, even though it is a tiny bit chunkier, and those grooves are deeper compared to the Black Series. Definitely just has a touch more roughing up on the edges. A noticeable difference when it comes to the control clamps in the middle of the saber is that the Galaxy's Edge has more of a brushed finish compared to the very chrome and shiny finish of the Black Series Elite, which also applies to the pommel caps. Pommel with an O caps. Both of the lower hand grips are very similar weathering that's consistent with the upper grip. So close, but so different. Crazy, you guys. And again, we'll just take one moment to just appreciate that we have this upper display emitter compared to, I know I mentioned this in the earlier review, check this out. The older Black Series Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber. This is all we had all the time, super chunk. So we're really lucky to have these display sabers because they're unfortunately going to be on display more than we'd want them to be. Now is the moment of truth. Which one of these sabers looks better with the upper half of the emitter that can fit the blade? All right, got them right here. And here's the crazy thing is that they both take the same number of steps, but they're in different orders. So with the Galaxy's Edge, we remove the whole upper half of the saber, not just the neck. The whole upper half comes off, and we have replaced a whole new one. You know what? It doesn't seem to widen the emitter cup or the upper grip. I thought maybe it would widen everything, but the upper grips look about the same, and so does the width of the very top emitter cup here. It's just the neck that has been completely inflated, probably maybe 3 times bigger than the display. So with the Galaxy's Edge, you replace the whole upper half of the saber, then put the blade in. But with the Black Series, it's different. So we keep the grenade grip section, but focusing ring neck and the emitter cup come out. We put in the blade and then take the blade emitter and slide this over the blade here. Because for the longest time, I mean, this seems more time consuming, but in reality, in this situation, you have to replace the upper half of the Galaxy's Edge. If we were talking about Obi-Wan's Episode 1 saber from the box set, there's no exchanging of upper halves, you just pop the blade and you're done. So there is just an extra step or two, but it's pretty easy compared to the Black Series Darksaber had like an Allen wrench with screws. That was a hassle. So it's really not too bad. We'll go ahead and put a blade in here and we'll take a close look at the designs with the blade. Oh, dang. Now we're starting to really see a difference here. This Black Series Elite neck is noticeably thinner than the Galaxy's Edge. The Galaxy's Edge emitter, though, is still, I have to say, weathered really nice. It has this airbrush look to it, but I'm not going to complain about the Black Series. It still also is very blended, very different weathering, different finishes. The Galaxy's Edge is more glossy and shiny. It's a noticeable difference. The neck on the Black Series looks better, you guys. There's no denying it, but again, a lot of differences with the finish, the weathering, it's crazy. So here's where things get a little choppy, is with the sound. But we'll start with the blade first. Let's start with the blade. Galaxy's Edge is fighting, an uphill battle here, because that's one thing that the Black Series Elite has, is they have enhanced LEDs. It's not a Neopixel, but let's see if you guys can tell here without, I'll show you in the dark too, but I'll turn them on, and the blade is brighter on the Black Series Elite. I hesitate to say it's twice as bright, but you know what? I might even just say it. I might even say the Black Series Elite is twice as bright. But the blade brightness can vary so quickly depending on the battery. Another way of looking at it is that the Galaxy's Edge saber has more of a darker royal blue color to it. But not only with the brightness of the blade, but also you can tell let's activate it again. You can see the scroll with the enhanced LEDs is so much more smooth than the chunky activation with the Galaxy's Edge. The Galaxy's Edge. It's brighter, and also the Force Effects Elite has a ton of blade effects like blaster deflect, lockup. I said in the review video that it's like it has a pea green, but I changed my mind. It just looks a little bit that way, but in the dark, when I activate the clash, it's really a yellow. A very light, faint yellow that's kind of dancing around and giving the lockup some texture to it. Blaster deflect, lockup. We got tip drag. But the one blade effect that both sabers have are the flash on clash. And the Galaxy's Edge, of course, the whole blade flashes a yellow, where on the Black Series Elite, flashes a white. And there's a white chunk in the center that activates the same way. So a lot of differences, but the main part that I want to emphasize is that this is the best working Force FX Elite Saber I've reviewed out of the Leia, the Darth Vader. Gosh, I'm losing track of how many I have reviewed. The Kylo Ren had a lot of problems with it. This has worked the best because if the saber doesn't work well, here, check this out. You can activate it, and I can actually do some swings and geek out a little bit without activating the clash or the blast deflect or anything. So it's working. It's still sensitive. Like having the extra blade effects is really cool, but if they keep getting triggered all the time, it's not really as fun, right? And to make matters a little less favorable for the Galaxy's Edge, I think I finally have decided that the sound effects have been completely swapped with the Episode 4 hilt that has not been released on its own yet in Disney parks, but did come with the box set. The sounds are completely swapped out, and the sounds from the Kenobi series sound a lot like the traditional Episode 4, first 1977 film, and vice versa. Has more of... Still has a traditional activation. More action-packed clashes. And I'll go ahead and turn on the Kenobi series, which has a very traditional Episode 4 sound to it. The clashes give it away though. Listen to this. Has a really snappy clash sounds that sound just like Obi-Wan and Darth Vader fighting from Episode 4. Not at all like more of the explosive clash effects from the Kenobi series. And let's check out the Black Series Elite, which, you know, Kenobi's lightsaber sound in this series sounds awesome. I think it's my favorite sound. It has a real punch to it when he activates it. Check this out, guys. So it's missing a little bit of the punch, but I did an audio check, and this Black Series Elite definitely has more accurate sounds to the series than the Galaxy's Edge. Blaster deflect. But action-packed, fuller, explosive clashes compared to the snappy ones we're getting on the Galaxy's Edge. Let's listen to the volume of the sabers and compare the two, okay? Galaxy's Edge. Black Series Elite. Man, that's really a close call. You know, I actually think the volume is pretty much a tie for both of them. And it's kind of strange, but there is some audio volume variability with the different sabers for both companies, and it probably has to do with either the speakers, but the way the sound resonates and escapes through the vented pommel caps, their different shapes. It doesn't vent nearly as well with the Dooku, for example, because the pommel is so chunky and dense with metal. But actually, it's a pretty decent volume. It's pretty good for a retail saber. Now, you're not going to hear this if you're like out at a social event or in the Disney parks. It's going to be really tough to hear these, which is where the like Neopixels, the art sabers come in handy. And hey, why not take just a quick second to show you guys? I haven't reviewed it yet. I can't wait, one video at a time, but this is my replica grade Kenobi Series Lightsaber that I just received recently. I absolutely love it. I can't wait to tell you guys about it. Looks fantastic. So just as a comparison, I thought, what the heck, I wanted to show you guys a little bit of the difference here. I can see similar heights, but I mean, this is like a tiny saber compared to the retail ones. Just want to show you guys. This particular hilt is the Desert Wanderer from Corbanth, installed by the one and only TJ Scrap That Works on Instagram. I absolutely love it, but there's definitely, I mean, every part of the saber is considerably smaller with the replica grade saber compared to the retail sabers, but we all know that. That's because you're saving hundreds of dollars by getting a retail. A lot of you fans out there love to collect the Black Series and the Disney Park sabers. That's also a fun aspect that a lot of you enjoy. Okay guys, it's time to go down in the comments and tell me which saber you would pick. It's a really tough call, super tough. A lot of differences. The biggest differences I think are with the sound effects, but please tell me in the comments which one are you picking. And as always guys, thank you so much for watching to the end of my video. Please be safe out there and make sure to have an awesome Star Wars day. May the Force be with you.